Welcome back to Black Arena family. Today, we're diving deep into a moment in history that sent shockwaves through America's power structure. A sermon so potent, so transformative, that it made the establishment tremble with fear. Picture this. Houston, Texas, April 11, 1994. Pleasant Grove Missionary Baptist Church becomes the epicenter of what would become one of the most influential gatherings in modern Black American history. On this night, Minister Louis Farrakhan stepped to the podium to deliver words that would echo through generations. Words that the powers that be prayed would never reach your ears. This wasn't just another religious service. This was part of a revolutionary tour, men-only meetings spreading across the nation like wildfire, building towards something unprecedented. The Million Man March of 1995. But what happened in that Houston church? What was said in those sacred walls was so raw, so uncompromising that it cut through decades of carefully crafted lies and manipulation. For centuries, they've perfected the art of mental colonization. They've stolen continents, rewritten our stories, and poisoned our minds with doubt about our own worth and origins. But on that April evening, one man stood defiant against their narrative, ready to remind us exactly who we are and where we truly come from. If you're ready to witness the message that made America's elite lose sleep at night, then stay with me. But I warn you, once you hear these truths, there's no going back to comfortable ignorance. Hit that like button if you're prepared for what's coming, and subscribe because we're about to uncover the voices history tried to erase forever. The minister began with something that would make anthropologists, historians, and geneticists everywhere uncomfortable. He spoke of the Quran's description of humanity's first creation, of how the original man Adam was formed from dark earth. Listen closely, he declared to the packed congregation. If your body originates from the soil of this planet, and the first human emerged from that black earth, then step forward, you scientists. Come speak to me, you researchers and genetic experts. His logic was mathematically precise, scientifically undeniable. If the original humans possessed lighter pigmentation, how would darker peoples have ever existed? Two individuals of European descent cannot produce offspring beyond their genetic limitations. I'm not preaching racial superiority here. I'm simply stating biological facts. The truth hit like lightning. You cannot create us. It's a genetic impossibility. So if you were truly first, we could never have emerged. Then came the revelation that would make white supremacists everywhere squirm. The black man carries within himself the complete spectrum of human diversity because blackness isn't merely a color, it's the foundation from which all human variation springs. The implications were staggering. Every racist theory, every supremacist ideology, every carefully constructed hierarchy, crumbling under the weight of simple scientific truth. But the minister wasn't finished. He pivoted from anthropology to theology, dropping a spiritual bomb that would reshape how black men saw themselves forever. Brothers, if the Creator fashioned you from His own essence, that means each of you carries divinity within. You are God's children of the Most High. The biblical reference was unmistakable, echoing the Psalms. You are all God's offspring of the Most High. Then came the question that would haunt America's churches. How can you claim to love a God you've never seen while harboring hatred for the brother you encounter daily? The answer revealed everything. There's something divine within your brother. When you harm him, you're wounding your father. If you are made in God's image, then every time I look upon a black man, I'm witnessing God Himself. If this is hitting different than anything you've heard before, let me know in the comments. We're just getting started. The minister's voice rose with passionate intensity. So when you carry that weapon and turn it against your black brother, you're literally firing upon divinity itself. When you watch his life drain away, with every trigger pull, your own essence dies too. The mathematics of violence became spiritual. Love cannot dwell within you while you continuously assault, steal from, and destroy your own family. This isn't just community. We're blood relations not only through shared ancestry, but through our shared divine origin. His commitment was absolute. I make this sacred promise. I will sacrifice my life for yours, because my existence holds no greater value than yours. You are greater, I am lesser. I must become your servant. The call to action was crystal clear. When your brother falls, you fall with him. Lift him up. Don't let superficial differences create artificial divisions. Don't say he wears red so he's an enemy, or blue makes him a stranger, or wrong hand signs make him dangerous. When you gaze into his face and see the marks of systemic destruction, remember, that's your brother. Someone as broken as you. Someone who needs healing, not more violence. The indictment was devastating. White America programmed us to despise each other. They brutalized our ancestors, shattered our families, then handed us corrupted religious texts to complete our mental destruction. They wrapped themselves in holy rhetoric while dragging our people through centuries of dirt, chains, bullets, and cages. But Farrakhan's response was revolutionary. If you claim divine love while practicing brotherly hatred, you're living a lie. Your brother reflects God's image. Every trigger pull spills sacred blood. Every theft, beating and betrayal serves evil's agenda. Then came the parable that would define the entire movement. The story of the donkey and the colt that revealed everything about Black America's condition and potential. Let me paint you a picture, the minister began, of what we could accomplish right here in Houston if we truly understood our power and came together as one. Scripture tells of an animal tied up, unused by its owners. White society has us bound to them, but they're not utilizing our potential. By the law of abandonment, they've forfeited their right to control us. The biblical parallel was profound. The master didn't command his disciples to steal. When something belongs to another, there are proper ways to claim it. But the master had paid a price for redemption. He said, "They're not using what I've purchased. Go untie them. I have need of them." So the master rode into Jerusalem on that donkey, with crowds shouting praise. But here's what history teaches us. There has never been a leader who called black men to exclusive gatherings like this. The minister's eyes swept across the packed church. Brothers, if this happens in 15 or 20 cities nationwide, what do you think they're thinking right now? The revelation was chilling. You are the unlearned, the donkey in this parable. Farrakhan is who you came to hear, which means you are the force beneath his influence. When they document this gathering, they'll declare that Farrakhan is stirring up black men, making him more dangerous than any leader we've seen. The moment that Master mounted the donkey and entered Jerusalem, his time became limited. Secret councils declared he had to die. The confession was startling. I'm telling you tonight, they've already decided Farrakhan must go. This is where it gets intense. If you're feeling the weight of these revelations, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. But then came the declaration that would echo through eternity. Wait, they made their plans, but God made his. The applause was thunderous, but the minister continued with unwavering confidence. You don't need to worry about that. I don't believe they possess weapons powerful enough to reach me from any distance, if it doesn't please the Almighty. If God decides my time has come, then I accept that calling. But I don't think so. We have work to do. Here you all are, tied up and unused. I'm one of the Master's messengers. I saw your bondage, and I'm here tonight to free you. The call was unmistakable. Come on, black man, we have a mission to complete, work to accomplish. I don't care what job you're working now. You have a higher calling from God. Since you promised, Lord, if you deliver me this one time, I'll serve you. Well, here's how God wants you to serve. The first commandment was personal transformation. Each of us must decide to purify our lives. This body, this is the true temple of God, not this building, beautiful as it is. This structure represents human architecture, but this cute, which gestured to himself, this is divine craftsmanship. You must never violate God's house. You shouldn't consume improper foods, unclean substances that clog your magnificent system with toxins. The analogy was perfect. Some of you drove fine automobiles here tonight. I saw them in the parking lot. You wouldn't put cheap fuel in those precision-engineered engines, would you? You use the highest octane because you don't want damage or poor performance. Yet you'll sit at fast food establishments and feed this magnificent temple garbage. It's an incredible house, brother, but it requires proper maintenance. All houses need care. The minister then revealed the depth of his understanding about what was coming. I am one man, and they find it challenging to handle me. The entire world struggles to crush a single individual. You know why? Because greater is he that lives within me than he that rules this world. Imagine if we allowed him into all of us. If we became a unified force under God, you wouldn't need weapons anymore. You could accomplish everything with this. He pointed to his mind. The miracle story was incredible. When they told me 30,000 people were standing outside, trying to get screens to watch, I went to my room and prayed, "Oh Allah, hold back the rain. Don't let it fall on these people." And he held it back. You have power, man. You're God's people. You could transform everything if you just returned home to God and found unity with each other. You would possess so much power, you'd frighten yourself. The economic blueprint he's about to share will blow your mind. Make sure you're subscribed because this is knowledge they don't want spreading. Now let me show you what we could accomplish in this very room, the minister declared, his voice building with excitement. Reverend Jackson built all of this with support from believers. I've visited many churches, but never one like this size, holding this many people, and he owes nothing on it. He had people working with him. The mathematics was simple but revolutionary. Look at the 14,000 men here tonight. Add the 15,000 outside, and check this out. Suppose each of us contributed $10 tonight. 14,000 times 10 equals $140,000. Put it in the treasury. Return next week. Contribute again. Third week, same thing. By the fourth week, you have over $500,000 in liquid cash. You walk into a bank and say, "Do you have any foreclosed properties? Show me your portfolio." They'll say, "We have this building, this apartment complex." You say, "We'll take it." The vision expanded. In this room tonight, there are carpenters, bricklayers, plumbers, electricians, roofers, every trade imaginable. You have young people here who don't know these skills. You take those abandoned buildings, put the craftsmen to work, and place the young men beside them as apprentices. Before you know it, those abandoned structures are restored. People are living in them, paying rent to you. You're the owner now. Then you say, let's continue this. $10 each. Now we have 30,000 people. That's 300,000 in 1 week. The agricultural vision was breathtaking. Notice how white farmers are abandoning their land. You go buy 1,000 acres. What do I need a farm for? That's the engine of life, brother. That's where everything we consume originates. The farm. Our problem is allowing everyone else to feed us instead of feeding ourselves and our children with 1,000 acres. You can't even see what 1,000 acres looks like. You need a helicopter to fly over what you own collectively. Now we start farming. Everyone can't farm, but there are skilled farmers here. We're not using mules anymore. We get tractors. Then you establish a canning factory. Then you buy land and build. Instead of just a beautiful church like this, you construct a supermarket. The brand vision was brilliant. Now you have your canning factory producing First Baptist peas, Second Baptist corn, Methodist asparagus, Muslim carrots on your supermarket shelves. Then you tell all our wives, don't shop anywhere else. Shop in your own supermarket. Before you know it, the money we spend on food circulates right back into our community, growing our wealth. The textile revolution. Our fathers picked cotton. Now we grow it, turn cotton into lint, lint into cloth. We just need to learn how to do it ourselves. Before you know it, you've started a complete economic revolution in the black community. And as men, we're leading this transformation. The final call was electric. Come on, brothers, let's fill the churches with men. Let's fill the mosques with men. And let us never allow religion and labels to divide us from each other ever again. If this vision is inspiring you to think differently about what's possible, drop a comment and let me know what resonated most with that sermon. Farrakhan had laid out the complete blueprint. He demonstrated what could happen if black men united to build genuine independence. One man alone was already enough to make the system nervous. But if divinity lives within all of us, then unity becomes unstoppable power. Working together, he explained, we could transform dying neighborhoods into thriving economies, ensuring every black person receives the life they deserve. As he made clear that very evening, if God decided his time had come, he would accept it willingly. But that moment hasn't arrived. Minister Louis Farrakhan remains very much alive at 92 years old. Though he stepped back from major public appearances around 2018, he continues as the Nation of Islam's national representative, guiding its mission behind the scenes. Even as mainstream platforms attempt to silence or sideline him, Farrakhan's legacy grows through the Final Call newspaper, the ongoing rebuilding of Muhammad Mosque No. 2 in Chicago, and continuing economic and educational programs designed to uplift black communities. Even without spotlights, Minister Farrakhan's presence resonates. In every act of unity, every effort to restore what was broken, his message echoes. He reminded us that we are not lost, powerless, or forgotten. We descend from a lineage too sacred to erase, carrying strength too deep to destroy. No matter what they stole from us, we endured, and in that survival life's beauty everlasting. Thank you for spending this time with us in the Black Arena. If this message moved you, let it settle in your spirit, share it with others, and keep it alive. Subscribe for more uncovered truths about black history, power, and legacy. We'll see you in the next one.